Rob again. We can't get enough of him.
We can't get enough of Frankie
We can't
Frank.
get enough Frank. Frank, welcome back. You have been wanting to come on and talk about Ironman because you had a real special time there. Do you want to just start
Great
talking
memories.
about it?
Yeah, actually, this was my 4th year out there, and every year Peter Henning tries to make the show bigger and better than he did the last year, naturally. And I've always said that I always felt really honored to be out there because he puts together such an elite crew of professionals to pull this thing
you're
off.
one
I
of
mean,
them.
they're all, yeah, exactly. And they're
honor
all
right
the
there.
finest of the finest, and I don't know how many
Not the
people
best
could
looking,
actually,
but at least the good, most
exactly.
talented.
Yeah, well, some of the cameramen are relatively ugly.
Handsome?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is that to be part of this big team is a real big deal for me, and I totally enjoy the time I'm out there, and it's a lot of work. And when it's all done and over on Sunday morning, we all sit back and look at each other and go, "Oh my God, I can't believe we pulled it off again."
How do we make that
It's
happen?
a lot of work for an 18-hour long live program.
19 hours
19
straight.
hours. It's ridiculous how much time you guys put into it.
And I never sleep the night before either, so I'm like
Too
always,
antsy?
yeah, I'm nervous.
Cool, man. Why don't you take us through a little bit about
Well, what I wanted to
creative,
do is
the interesting things that happened this year and how it left you a little different.
this year, because we made it bigger and better than usual, there was a lot of new things that were introduced. We fed the German television company ARD so that they could go live at 5, which is actually midnight in Germany, and they wanted to be able to do their own show. And so we actually supplied them with 7 individual feeds, which was a new thing this year, so that they could do their presentation and plus incorporate everything.
7 plus your feeds? Was it a 7
Yeah.
additional feeds, or were they pulling off of your camera feeds?
Yeah, they're pulling off of our feeds.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
we had
But
to
still, it was still
supply
pushing.
them with
Yep.
everything that we had plus. And then we also fed the Austrians, and we also fed, all these other people.
Can't
It was-
they feed themselves? We got to get them with Rex.
We
Rex
are-
has
they've
been
got-
feeding a lot of people. Over
We
the
are the-
NFL Alumni Association's feeding a lot of people.
We are the people that make the picture. If you talk to the
It's all
Germans, you're the one that
Ironman
makes the
Productions.
picture, right? Yeah.
Ironman Television Productions is okay.
I'm
Just-
kidding.
But it was huge. One of the guys that was always out there with me since the very first year was Joe Hashimoto. I mean, I was there in 2004, and I had no clue what I was getting into, and this little Japanese guy comes walking in the room and starts bringing in all these anvil cases and sets up this elaborate system for me to work on to get this thing done.
Right.
And since then, he and I have become pretty good friends because we always spend Sunday together. We spend all day, like a whole week
Didn't you do
together.
like you've done this like 4 or 5 years, right? 4 years?
4 years
Yeah,
in a row,
so got history.
I only see the guy once a year, but we talk, on and off. He gets Christmas cards, I get Christmas
it's a
cards.
concentrated time, though.
Absolutely. We spend a lot of time together,
Yeah.
So I find out
Sick
Joe's
this year,
not coming.
right?
Joe's sick. And come to find out he's really sick. Okay, so Joe's not going to make it. So he sends 2 other guys, and so now that's just another one of them things. Now I got these 2 newbies that I don't know what they're going to do. The production coordinator from last year is no longer there.
Oh, man.
So it's
You're
like there's a
going
whole
to
lot
go
of things
mess.
that I
Yeah.
don't know about that are happening this year that I got to figure out, But at any rate, it all worked out great. And Joe called me every day to make sure everything was going good. And he's like, "Oh, I can get there on Thursday," And I'm like, "Joe, take it easy.
Chill out, man."
I found out on Monday what was really wrong with him, and
What was
just
wrong?
take it easy. Joe had colon cancer. He told me that his back was hurting him, but his back was hurting him because he had
Because
an
of the colon
infection
cancer.
and all this other stuff. But Joe's Japanese. He's very proud. He doesn't show any sign of
course.
weakness. Kind of a thing. And he never let on that there was anything really wrong with him. Okay. So go ahead and roll the videotape, and I'll kind of walk you through the last 4 years of this. This is the fishbowl, which is where we first met Joe. And like I said, it starts out as an empty room. This little Japanese guy comes walking in, and tables get set up, and he starts unloading stuff and builds me this elaborate system to do the webcast with. And the first year, I was just totally freaked out that this thing actually worked. The next year, we involved more stuff, trying to get a telephone line in and out so we could do questions and answers. The next year they moved us up to another hotel room, and Joe brought in a different switcher that had its own frame sync built into it so that we didn't have to frame sync everything. And Joe was always my right-hand guy. He sat there, he ran the audio, and then all night long we would spend 8 hours together just doing the finish line. We and I would drink a beer, we'd sit and hang out. This year, everything was different. We built a set out on the roof, and that's where our talent was going to be located, was out there. They sent in 2 new guys, Javier and Walter, to run audio and video. And Xavier told me, I'm not a video guy. We actually streamed the setting up over to Joe so that he could watch us put it all together. And then that night, we all spent the night together just like we used to with Joe. And I tried to drink a Bud Light. I bought him a 6-pack. And I tried to drink one, and it wasn't all that tasty. But
oh, it's a shame.
Next year, Javier's got a gig. He didn't want it, but he inherited it. But we're going to miss Joe. Beloved father, son, grandfather, husband.
Engineer. Guy. Great guy.
Killer engineer, lousy pool player, great guy.
Oh, that was so sweet, Frank.
And make sure that we all tune in. Yes.
It's coming up.
Saturday afternoon in 4:30 on NBC. The big show from Kona.
The big show.
The big show. I talked to Peter the other day. He says everything looks great. It's a weird race. It was a race of attrition. All the big names just had problems, and it was like
how cool that is.
Yeah, so we got a brand new woman that won the race for the very first time, which is a total out of nowhere.
Took the whole thing.
And the guy that came in second last year came in first this year.
No, a woman won for women, and a man won for a man.
But who won the overall thing? The man.
A man.
Women don't. Women.
Yeah. Men are traditionally
you're the only one allowed to
faster.
make a mistake on this show?
So it's going to be on NBC this Saturday, 4:30 to 6.
4:30 to 6 p.m. on NBC.
I think that's great. And you've always done a wonderful job in Hawaii, too. We've watched your stream, so congratulations to you, too.
Yeah, well, it sounds like unless something really goes really weird, I'll be out there again next year.
No, it's gonna be great next year because I have a feeling Peter's gonna have some crazy thing for you to do.
I know next year. That's the thing. Is like
that's what worries me the most.
There's always,
there's always next
Joe
year.
was so cool because no matter what you said to him, there's always like a day worth of by the ways. Oh, by the way, and you would look at Joe and say, Joe, by the way, blah, 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 he would look at you and go, really?
Really?